Welcome everybody to another episode of All About the Girls, the podcast. I'm so excited to announce joining me today is Stephanie Krol, owner of Stephanie Krol Public Relations.
Yep, that's it. That's my name.
That's it. Bye, everyone. So tell me a little bit. I was just mentioning off camera that I'm excited to dive in because I know you, but I don't know a ton of your background. So I'm excited to kind of learn about that. So for me, but also folks that maybe don't know you that well. Tell us a little bit about how your background, where you grew up, like what is that kind of early life stuff?
Okay, great. Do you have a few hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just my nature to have a client on instead of me. I'd rather be behind the scenes.
You're like you're usually promoting out others.
Yeah.
So
and
we're
they're
going to flip the
amazing
script
missions.
today. Yeah.
And I work with so many great, nonprofits, small businesses. So
you absolutely do. You've introduced me to a ton of folks out in Michiana at large, Elkhart, even maybe more specifically, but you know everyone and everyone knows you.
But here's the fun thing. I'm a transplant. I'm from Ohio.
Really? Where at in Ohio?
So I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. So actually Garfield Heights. So and my dream, I guess, was to be an Ohio State Buckeye. That was definitely my dad's dream for me.
Cool.
When I was in 4th grade, he would buy me Ohio State sweatshirts. I was the first one in my family to go to college, so I didn't have a choice. Ohio State was a state school.
Like we're going,
Yeah, it was 2 hours away, Columbus, Ohio, 2 hours from Cleveland.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, my brother later followed in my footsteps. He got a full ride. He was an Evans Scholar. So that is, you need to show financial need, get good grades, and be a golf caddy. So Chip Evans Scholarship is a thing. So, and I'm really blessed. My husband was an Evans Scholar. So when we met in college, he told my brother about this scholarship.
So that's how he knew in the first place?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
It is the best scholarship program. So
that's cool.
They do amazing things. Notre Dame, they actually have an Evans house.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never heard of this.
Yeah. So Google it.
And so it's a scholarship throughout the country, like to go throughout the country.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. My husband is an Indiana Hoosier. My brother got to go to school at Ohio State. My husband was actually thinking going to Northwestern, but he chose IU.
But still an option.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
so
really
amazing
cool.
schools, and you could study abroad. It's for, girls and boys and
that are golf caddies.
Yeah. Golf caddies. Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah. So if you learn one thing is my love for Evans Scholarship and how much it's changed my family's life. So
that's perfect. Yeah. Well said. And there's just the two of you, you and your brother?
Yes.
Okay. So you and your brother growing up in Ohio.
Yes.
Went to Ohio State.
Yes.
And then how did you kind of end up in Michiana?
Well, that's a long story. My dream was to move to New York City, but I thought Chicago would be a good stopping ground because that was kind of the next step.
It's like the next step, and then we'll go bigger.
Yeah, and I figured if you could survive, Ohio State is so big, the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
Because those professors, they don't care. There's no one holding your hand to go to class. Like you're
going or you're going to fail out and be gone.
Absolutely. And, I was lucky I joined a sorority. So it kind of made campus feel a little bit smaller. I was an Alpha Zeta Delta. Of course, I was philanthropy chair.
Yes.
But I was also treasurer.
Early beginnings, my friend.
Early beginning. But I was also treasurer because that helped pay for my room and board. So, yeah. And we had houseboys that would help serve us our meals. So yeah, it was you live in a beautiful house. So, Greek life, people say really crazy things, but for me, it made it feel safe and more of a community.
Community piece, the fellowship that is behind that, and that kind of belonging is probably really helpful.
Yeah, and we made such an impact. Yeah, definitely. We made such an impact. So, and I still,
I
still mentor little Alpha Zs at Ohio State or from different parts of the country. So that was a big upbringing, and empowering women too is great.
Absolutely.
As a sorority,
yeah.
So.
Okay. That's really cool. Yeah. So. And then, went to Chicago.
So that was my dream, was to first stop in Chicago, then go to New York.
Okay.
And so 9/11 happened. As I graduated, I had a journalism degree, and that was such a great experience at Ohio State, was writing for the school newspaper, The Lantern. So I kind of learned deadlines. It was that fast-paced life.
Yes.
So that was really great. And then I actually worked at the varsity club at Ohio State. So that was across from, that was the Ohio State University football bar.
Okay.
So it's right across from the stadium. So my senior year, so as a PR, student, and I had an opportunity to work for the Ohio State Athletics Department, which taught me, great writing skills, crisis communications, and all the things. And I was lucky enough, for the football games, I would work what do they call them now? The suites, where the media are,
Oh yeah, press box.
The press box. Why couldn't I think of that? That was my home. But before every game too, I would work at the varsity club, and I was a waitress serving pizza and beers to alumni, and you had to have a cash bar and be really quick with numbers. But that helped pay my way for school and spring break. So football Saturdays were really busy for me. So I was waitressing, and then I would just bring my suit with me and change in the bathroom, and then walk over to the stadium, work the press box, and then come back after the game and put my Ohio State varsity club sweatshirt on and jeans and tennis shoes and work till like 2 a.m. So that was
finish the bartender.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, this is a good pace because, my dream was to move to Chicago and, work in PR. And that wasn't the most lucrative entry-level PR students, graduates.
Yeah.
So, I figured I could probably bartend or something. So I went to Chicago, and I had a waitressing resume as well as, a PR resume.
Yeah, that media side of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I was really lucky because when I graduated, no one was hiring. Marketing budgets were getting cut. And again, this was right after 9/11. Yeah, 9/11. And we just didn't know how the economy was going. It was a really scary time. So I went back to Cleveland, Ohio. It was really sad. I didn't get to move right away, but I just saved up, worked really hard. And one of my internships, she was actually my mentor, Jane Van Bergen, hired me to be an intern. So this was while I was a student at Ohio State.
What's the business?
She was the new PR director that someone told me about at a job fair.
Okay.
And said, you should call this woman. She's the new director of communications for the Diabetes Association of Greater Cleveland.
Okay.
And so I cold called her. And I was like, hey, I'm looking for an internship this summer. Can you tell me a little bit, are you looking for someone? She's like, well, I'm new. I just started like a few weeks ago. Sure, I'd love to meet you. Come on in. It just took a phone call. And
many people are afraid of that phone call.
And you have to, especially being in PR. And
yes.
Again, I don't think a lot of people understand what public relations does, but you're working with the public. You're going to have to talk to strangers.
Absolutely.
And this cold calling was the best thing. So I think she knew if I could cold call, just
pick up and call her.
I might have a little bit of skill set.
Yeah.
So, but she was the best. She was a working mom. She was an artist, and she was one of the greatest mentors I've ever had. So,
okay. And still in contact?
She's passed from breast cancer.
Okay.
But her daughter, whose also name is Grace, my daughter's name is Grace, is in Wisconsin. I talk to her all the time, and she has two kids, but they both have Jane's eyes. So I feel like Jane's living.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and every week, we'll talk about this a little bit in the interview, but I mentor so many students, and it's because Jane believed in me. So I have to pass that forward.
Yes. Well said. That's absolutely amazing.
So you never know what a difference someone is going to make. So Jane, I kind of feel like this Jane Van Bergen, she changed my life.
I love it.
Through a cold call.
That's
so
cool. Yeah. And that's probably a staple of all the things to be, right? It's same thing. It's a little preview of all that is to come just by how you did that.
Yeah. Because she knew my dream was to move to Chicago, and her thought was, all right, every day during your lunch break, you're going to cold call people. You're going to make emails. You're going to ask people, how did they get their start in Chicago? And you're eventually going to meet them, but you have to call them. So we would research people to call, anything that I would be kind of interested in.
Yeah.
And she believed in me, and she loved me so much. She pushed me out of the nest. So I set up a week. I go to Chicago, and I have interviews all day long. And it's really just coffee with people. I'd offer be like, hey, how, do you have a, half hour? I could come bring you coffee. You could tell me how you got your start in Chicago. Because here's the thing, people, as you know, people love to talk about themselves.
They absolutely do.
So, they're not going to tell a kid like now. So it just opened so many doors for me for, asking people to tell their story.
Yeah, that's well said.
Yeah.
So you eventually find something that brings you to Chicago, I assume.
Yeah. So it was an internship, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm already graduated, but it was the largest PR firm, Edelman Public Relations, where I met more amazing, great mentors, worked on some of the greatest clients, and met some of my best friends. I knew hardly anyone in the city. I was actually living with two strangers. I lived in a closet. These were friends, not complete strangers, but friends of friends.
Yeah.
But I really didn't
But you didn't know them.
My parents were petrified of me. I just packed up my car and moved to Chicago. And we didn't really know anybody that lived in Chicago. It was my dream. So
yeah.
I went all in. I packed my car, drove, almost got in so many accidents. The Dan Ryan.
City traffic that you probably
and
didn't
now
know
I
much
love
about.
driving in city traffic. But at the time,
now you're probably the pro.
Yeah. But at the time, I'm like, please do not break down car. And
oh
like,
my
just
God.
so scared.
Like, I don't want to have to. Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
like driving like this. And now I love it. I just love the thrill
gosh.
and how fast and everything. So it's like second nature to me. But yeah, my husband and I laugh all the time because I really feel like that was such a great chapter for me, was sink or swim. And it was just exploring the city. And Chicago is it is so Midwest, is so beautiful. The parks, the neighborhoods, the culture, the food. So it really is my second home.
How long were you in Chicago for?
For many, many years. And I actually met my husband when I was a senior at Ohio State, and he was a senior at Indiana University. We were both in student government and wrote for the student newspaper. So we met. We actually celebrated. We celebrate this every February. It's our anniversary of when we met, because I always say that was the most important day, was the day we met.
Okay.
And it was the Big Ten Student Government Association. So, of course, I was also the party planner for that government conference, but also like I was in student government and working for the newspaper.
Sleeping never.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like sleeping never.
Yeah. And we just met, and, he was with students from IU. We were going on a bus tour or something, and he was asking for a restaurant or something. And I was like, I'll walk you over I wasn't even looking up. I was just checking people in. I was like, if you could just, such to the side.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on a second. And then we just started talking, and that was, 19 years ago. So yeah,
cool.
We talked every day. And this is when email first started too. So we used to, like email each other.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like the text before text and such.
Yeah. So it'd be like exciting when we were long distance for a long time. And which was kind of fun that his family lived in the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
And they reminded me Paul and Robert reminded me so much of my parents. They were so loving and Midwest, and they really took care of me. So, and I think it kind of made my parents feel like I had a support group, even though I was in the suburbs. I mean, I had no one in the city, but you kind of just find your tribe. Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
To bring up the tribe. I think that's something that is just not necessarily, I don't know. It's just sticking close to home for me. I don't think necessarily everybody, but just in my life right now, the tribe sort of mentality is very important to me. So I think that's well said. Is there a moment or experience or influence early in that life that kind of shaped who you are today? If you think back to maybe Chicago or pre-Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I fell in love.
Sounds like your mentor is one for sure.
Yeah. I fell in love with the city. So I was like, no way am I moving to New York. I loved Chicago so much.
Okay.
And
so the city's probably a great influence. Yeah.
But my husband, he was kind of finding his path when he graduated with multiple degrees from Indiana University. And he met someone, a family friend at a trade show in the RV industry. And he was able to be a sales coordinator, and which he's grown for many years. And he was like, well, this RV industry is fascinating because we both love outdoors. And he just got a really good feeling about it, like the people you meet. But he was like, it's going to be in Elkhart County. And I'm like, where the heck is Elkhart County? So I had complete culture shock when we were long distance for a while. Didn't know, because I was loving my city life. And but here's the thing: I always wanted a dog too. So he's like, if you move out here, I'm going to get you the biggest dog possible. And it was I was kind of like over living in the city. This was many years later.
Sure.
And again, we were back and forth long distance, and it was only 2 hours. So so it was easy. And but we had to start making some life decisions. So he's like, icing on the cake is, I had a cat, but he knew I always wanted a dog, but I lived in a walk up and with no air conditioning.
Yeah, there's no way this can be realistic.
So one of the first places I stopped when I moved there was the Humane Society of Elkhart County. And I was used to the mega beautiful shelters in Chicago. So I walked there and I was like, oh my gosh, like, we need to, this place needs a new shelter. And that was one of the greatest, I would say, case studies of my career, was helping Humane Society with their reputation management and getting them ready for a capital campaign, because now we have a beautiful new shelter. We have a vet on staff. We're just such a service to the community. Instead of it always being, people used to say it was such a sad place to be. That Humane Society of Elkhart County, it's a place of hope, and it's like where we're connecting families.
Oh yeah, I went there. I think I'm pretty sure it was the Elkhart.
It's in Bristol.
For the Horizon Bank was doing their day of giving. So they go out to all of the communities they serve and they donate their time, and they were donating their time there. And so I went and took some pics, and it was adorable and lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And the animals are happy there.
Yeah. Oh my God. We played with the cats for so long. There was a bunch of little kittens. It was glorious.
Their old shelter, which used to be on that site, was built as a women's shelter. It was never built really to house animals.
And this one very much is. You can tell.
I mean, we would meet with architects and like, how did the air system work best so we wouldn't spread, any pathogens or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of stuff you would learn building an animal shelter. So I'm just so proud whenever I drive by there. That was just such an amazing opportunity to be involved with the Humane Society, and a real passion for me. And I got my best friend. I adopted Simon at the time, and he was with me for 7 years. So he was definitely my soul dog. He was my first friend here, and he went everywhere with me. So
I love it so much.
But the Humane Society also professionally opened a lot of doors. I met some really great people, and I'm so proud. And right as we were launching the capital campaign, we lost my dad. So I was really lucky that the adoption center was named after my dad, because he would just be so tickled to see it. So he would just love it, because he was always so sad when he would come visit, because we'd have to stack cat cages, in the old shelter. It was really sad and depressing. Yeah. But we were doing the best that we could at the time. Yeah. So, and
now you see this big,
and to see his name just means so much to my family. And it's just something to pay forward. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And tell me, if you think about all of these kind of decisions you made along the way and actually coming to Elkhart County, do you think there's a decision that you made that kind of set you on the path that you're on today?
I think it was that cold call to Jane Van Perken.
Right back to that.
Because she gave me confidence too about, it's hard enough to find a job in public relations, but just someone who saw me, she was a mom too, but loved me enough to push me out of my nest. At the time, I don't think my parents wanted to let me go to the big city at that time. I had a great life in Cleveland, and
they loved having you there and all of those things. Yeah, absolutely.
But I loved, the hustle and bustle of Chicago. And, when I did move to Indiana, I still would be on the South Shore all the time. I still have clients in Chicago. So
amazing.
Yeah, I was there last week, and I still work very close with all the media there as well. So I'm still holding on to my city life.
Yeah. You still got that, city love. You can
and my kids love it too.
Forever. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they love it. So
okay, that's perfect.
So Chicago
is so easy to access, especially now. It's so simple to get up there. So it's even better. I mean, you don't mind driving, it sounds like, but
and the South Shore has Wi-Fi.
It's so.
Or you could take the Amtrak or to New Buffalo.
That's a great one. Yeah. I just learned about the Amtrak in Elkhart, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, downtown.
Literally, in our recent meetings in Elkhart, I didn't know there was an Amtrak in downtown Elkhart.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Easy. So you could stay out late in Chicago and take that Amtrak home and be dropped right off in downtown.
Yeah, right.
Downtown Elkhart.
Yeah.
So leave your car there, free parking. So
how cool.
Yeah.
And then when you came to Elkhart, is that when you started Stephanie Krol PR?
Yes, because there wasn't agencies at the time. It was
especially not at the size that you were used to.
Yeah, definitely. And I loved agency life. I wanted to work in a diverse client list as much as I could, but I didn't at the time, no one was really hiring communications. There's no marketing firms out here. So, I kind of had to invent that myself. And I actually had another mentor who was at Edelman Public Relations, Nick Calm, who connected me with a doggy boutique in Barrington in the nice suburbs of Chicago, who had a doggy boutique. But this was before pet boutiques were like pet boutiques. Sure. And again, whenever you look at my clients' public relations, you're like, okay, what makes you set apart? Like, what is your story? How do you stand out? So I met this woman who fired 2 agencies, and she said, what makes you different, and how are we going to get people in my store?
How am I not going to fire you?
Yeah, totally. I was like really scared. I was in a suit, like to a pet boutique, and I had dog fur. Your dogs are jumping all over you. It was beautiful. There was crystal chandelier. She had leopard carpeting.
Oh, I love this.
Yes, it was beautiful. And it actually, the place just closed to.
It's very Lisa Vanderpump.
Yes, before Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah,
she was the OG.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. So we did a dog wedding. And we had a limo come in, and these dogs, we had a dressed up, and we had the wedding customers were in the wedding party. The Chicago Tribune came. I pitched the story. The Chicago Tribune came, ended up. So that's still like 45 minutes from the city. The suburbs. Yeah. And ended up at the front page. It is sitting in my office right now.
It should be.
I'm going to text it to you because these two little dogs.
Yes, I would love to see this.
But everything since then has been word of mouth. And that is the best way I find my clients is word of mouth, because the Chicago Tribune, the LA Times picked it up. And then at one point, Howard Stern was talking about how can dogs get married, not all people. So that was kind of the buzz.
Oh my gosh.
She was inundated with press and just, people wanting to check out her store, that she gave my name to other people. So, and that was all because, another mentor believed in me.
Oh.
Yeah. And now he runs his own reputation firm in Chicago, in downtown Chicago as well. So
that's amazing.
To take a step back, public relations is really
you mentioned not everybody really knows what that means. Let's dive in.
Yeah, it's not planning parties all day. There's this terrible misconception. I actually have a journalism degree. I work directly with media. Yes, I write press releases, but it's also strategic messaging. How are you going to stand out? And Jenny, this
planning.
Yes,
you do so much
strategy.
Yes, this big strategy. It's not just we're going to write this story. It's this story is a singular piece of a plan that includes stories and social and probably some cold calls and media. Mm-hmm. It's everything.
Yeah, and what people are inundated with messages. So what is going to stand out? What is going to get that consumer to remember something? And I love working with different nonprofits because they're making such a difference. And entrepreneurs and small businesses are so passionate, but it's just thinking strategically. Like we're all in the hamster wheel, but it's just taking it to the next step. So I feel like PR gets a misconception. And, I do crisis communications, but really my joy is spreading good news.
Yeah. This is why we connected immediately. You have been such a help letting people know about us. And I this is probably the base of it. It's just, you've got that heart.
Well, I feel like too, that's one of my strengths. And one of my passions is I'm a natural connector. So whether it's professionally or personally, like I always know who to connect to.
Yeah, absolutely. And how to do that in a manner that makes sense for both sides of that.
Yeah, so it's not weird.
Like you're so it's not weird.
Yeah.
And it's very natural for you. And a lot of the moments I've seen where you've connected me or other people, it's such a natural connection. Like you wouldn't make it if you couldn't make it that natural.
Well, I think too, because I care. So I want to know people's story, why we get along so well, because I genuinely care. Like everyone has a story. I always say that. And it's true. Like there's something to be discovered about someone. Yeah. Something that we could find in common.
And that mentality is why you're great at what you do. And why it makes so much sense that you're doing it, because not everybody thinks like that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. We wish they did.
Yeah. Totally.
Think more bright and positive and happy. And that everyone has a story. And I think in the world of strong judgment immediately, no matter what reason, it's good to just, let's get to know their story. Let's get to know this person
and connect as humans.
Who they voted for or what color they like or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. And too, when I moved to Chicago, I met so many people on the subway. And now people are looking at their phones the whole time. They don't even make eye contact.
I have a friend.
It's so sad to me.
Yes. I have a friend, Sharina Gonzalez. I think you might know her. She's from Michiana. And she has a couple good friends that she met like just randomly on the train where she's just like, oh yeah, we were just chit chatting. Or she worked for a company because she met the owner on a plane. And they chatted on the plane. And then later she ended up working for that person. And it's like, but if we're not having any conversations,
people don't even make eye contact anymore.
Yes,
like that's what I'm trying to teach my kids is like to connect.
Yes. Good. Please keep that. And then I think in your PR and in your child rearing, hopefully that will continue to, make the world work. And how, if you think about through all of that evolution, how do you think your kind of idea of success has changed? You mentioned like I wanted to go to New York and I was going to go do that, and then that changed. So how has success changed for you and what that looks like through all of those years?
I think just happiness and joy. And I really wanted to build a community and be part of a community. So I feel like I did that in my work life and my professional life as well. So probably
there's a lot of gray area where it's both.
Yeah. And
it's not even bad because
it's not even bad because the one thing I look for, whether it's a friend or even a client, is people making a difference, because that's the type of people I want to run with.
Yes.
So that's, that it just kind of carries over in both things. So
kind of looking for the givers. Yeah. Looking for the caregivers.
Yeah. Our really good friend, Jillian, that we are both dear friends with.
Yes. Oh my God. I love her so much.
Past award winner.
Yeah.
And, we met cleaning, kennels at the Humane Society of Elkhart County.
Oh, really?
And then we spent a weekend, because I told you about the old shelter. We redid the staff lunchroom. We just painted with another friend and just try to
make it
a little bit, like try to, bring a little joy. And that's how we became such good friends. And
really,
she's taken me, through her jobs, and, we've made such a great team, but we met by volunteering.
That's great. I did not know that story. Jillian is, if you don't know Jillian Koneman, she's a wonderful, wonderful woman. And it doesn't surprise me, candidly, because I think she's so similar to you in that giving mentality. She's a very community giving based person, and we'll have to have her on here too.
Yes.
I haven't had her on yet. There's such a growing list of women I want to have on this podcast.
I know, I'm going to stretch you out.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Please give me all of them. We'll get through them. Just know if you're thinking like, why haven't you had this person? Send them in. Always suggest them. I always want to know. And we'll get there as soon as we can. Yeah, because it's just, there's so many, which is the best problem to have.
It's a great problem.
In what we're doing, Any times of stress where you thought about quitting, is this the right path? Should I start over? And how you either worked through that or what happened?
I think it's really, we've all heard this word before, especially through the pandemic, is pivoting. And, again, I work with so many entrepreneurs that, hey, priorities change, bills change, and nonprofits, budgets change. And that's just a big part of my life, agency life, is pivoting, but also being a mom to two young kids. We're constantly pivoting. And I think the other thing is I'm very involved in the arts, whether it's Premier Arts in Elkhart. They're just amazing regional. They're the theater group of the beloved, one of my family's favorite places is the Lerner Theater. To also, there's the school now, the Premier Arts Academy. And I feel like the arts have given me such confidence and a power to pivot too. So, because I've seen also what they're instilling in children. It's confidence. And I know like my son struggled a little bit with confidence and Premier Arts, and now he goes to the academy. Has made such a difference.
And I think so many kids struggle with confidence sometime in that journey, whether it's because you're young and just don't have a ton of confidence, or you grow up and maybe feel a little bit awkward in your own body and all of this stuff happening.
Or maybe a little bit different. We're all a little different.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that, and you identify just differently than most others, and you just feel weird or feel out of place, and the confidence that you can get from something like that. And it probably helps develop a little bit of a crew or a little bit of a community for those little ones too.
Absolutely.
Because they're seeing those same people and they're, involved in something with others.
My mom said I was painfully shy as a young girl, and now I talk to strangers all day.
Literally for a living.
Yeah. So and she signed me up for a dance class, and I looked like a baby giraffe. So, but now my kids are in dance, and I just see the confidence.
Yeah.
They're at Epic Dance Studios, and they love it. And I just see the work that they're doing. They're doing tons of community outreach programs too, to instill confidence in kids. So,
yes.
So if your kids are struggling a little bit, I would say get them out there. There's something for everyone.
And is that like for you, and maybe in your kiddos world too, like did your mom put you in dance because she thought you might like dance and it would help, or it was just something to help?
I think it was just something to help.
Yeah.
She probably thought I wasn't a talented. I wasn't going to be like the next pop
She didn't
star.
think you were going to be like, or the next ballet, great.
No, but, I just think it was just something positive for me to do. And again, I was very awkward. Like I was like a baby giraffe. So maybe help a little bit with
some coordination, and body awareness.
Yes. Cause I'm very clumsy. So.
And still to this day, are you clumsy?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
I
just went to a roller skating party with my kids, and ice skating too. And I
did not
wipe
you're not
out.
in any casts.
Yeah.
You don't look injured at all.
Yeah.
So that's
and we
good.
went skiing too. And it was just riding like a bicycle. So I used to do all that stuff.
Because I would have been injured for sure.
It's just harder the older you get.
Yeah. So. I'm clumsy. I don't know that I'm less clumsy than I was as a kid. I think I'm pretty much the same clumsy. But you're right. Yeah, it's a little scary. It gets a little.
It's because there's more to fall. You could fall further.
Yeah, exactly. It hurts worse. It's a little easier. I'm still clumsy equally, but it's a little easier. And it's lasting pain. Lasting pain. So you mentioned some women that have kind of mentored you. What do you think that women need to hear more often, or maybe what we should stop apologizing for? So maybe both sides of that question.
I love that question because when I was at a PR agency in Chicago, I had a senior exec say to me, a female, said, "Stop apologizing." I didn't even hear myself. And usually now when I correct people, they have no idea either. And I'm like, what are you apologizing for?
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So, so I love that question. So don't do that. Don't unless you need to apologize.
Just stop apologizing in general for BS. That doesn't matter. Yeah.
Because then it makes when you are apologizing less authentic. So
that's a great point.
Yeah.
And
so get off these apology tours.
Yeah. Just
but
don't do it at all.
People just don't understand, especially, when you have like 5 bosses that you're saying it like a record. So
I think it's just almost subconscious and you don't notice it until someone says it. Chris, the founder here, at Great News, his wife, Natalie, she's great for always being like, stop apologizing. Don't apologize. You don't need to. And in that moment, it's so helpful because you're like, you're right. I don't need to. But sometimes you just need that person to say that. And then it sort of kicks in other places too, where I'll be like, oh yeah, like Natalie would say, stop apologizing. Why do you apologize? There's nothing to apologize for. It's almost, and I think some of that's kind of that Midwesterner too in us. Like we're so overly polite that, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, you didn't do anything. What are we doing?
So my husband was an Indiana Hoosier. So we were so lucky that we got to go to the big championship game.
Okay.
And
awesome.
And the Miami fans were like, you people from Indiana are the nicest. And I was like, it's because we're Midwest nice.
Yeah, we're Midwest nice.
They're like, really? Like you're lovely. You're darling. Like we really want to be mad at you. But the fans from Indiana we heard that over and over and over.
Really? That's cool. I like it. I think, I think there's a happy medium. Like I want to keep the Midwestern nice with it, but I agree. Stop apologizing for stuff that
especially as women. We don't need to.
No. Absolutely not. And how do you try to lift others up as you rise? And what do you think that looks like? Telling people to stop apologizing maybe is one of those, but how are some other ways that you say, hey, I'm going to, the tide rises all boats?
I definitely think eye contact and acknowledging people, learning their name of all, if I am doing an event, if I am throwing a party, I get to know everyone's name from the janitor to the MC and because we're all a team that night. Playing a part. So great. I think it's just acknowledging people, their path, and learning their story. So, and I know that sounds like, okay, that's what you do PR, but it's really like acknowledging people Because guess what? We all have a struggle. What did it say? You never know what someone's going through. And, you're just
we all have a story. We all have a struggle.
Yeah, we all have a struggle. So, and that's how we connect as humans. So.
Absolutely.
But people don't, I feel like now it's getting a little bit better, but for, umpteen years, no one talked about it. No one talked about struggles. And
I know. Yeah. We're so much more of a kind of vocal society now than it used to be, but it used to be kind of that old, in our family, it's the old Catholic way of like sweeping everything under the rug and we don't talk about it. And then it probably explodes somewhere down the road. Yeah. Like it's never going to be good, but that's kind of how we were raised and that's how we did it. And I think that's hard because there's just too much anxiety behind that, I think.
And, and everyone could help each, you know what I mean? There's a way to connect. And,
exactly. And having the conversations and making things more vocal makes everything more comfortable. And then we're having the conversations now. If you think mental health alone, if you think about mental health, there are more conversations around mental health now than ever, I would say, that in my whole life. And I think that allows people to get help with those mental health issues faster, better, easier, because it's not as stigmatized.
Absolutely.
And not that it's zero. We know that we've got a long way to go, but
a long way to go. But
that's just a little peek into that bigger picture. And I think we've got to keep kind of, let's have the awkward conversations.
I love to be awkward.
That's what Sharina taught me too. I've given her credit on this podcast and in life several times I did grow up with parents that were very young as parents. Like my parents were, I think 21 and 26 with their third kid. So they had 3 before my dad was even 21 years old. They don't know how to communicate.
You don't even know who you are at 21.
Yeah, exactly. Like the frontal lobe is not fully developed. What are we doing here? And so it's just like, you think back to all of those times, but I grew up in a very kind of non-emotional, not that I wasn't emotional, but we were not an emotional family. There's not a lot of like love yous. And there's just also not like a lot of emotional communication. It was just like, buck up and move on. Right. And so as you get older, you're like, no, that's not good for anyone. And I think she taught me very early in our friendship that like, it's so much more comfortable to just get that uncomfortable conversation over, because then you've had it and things will probably improve. And if they don't, at least you've gotten that out of your system and had the conversation. And so I've gotten, I think, a little better at it over time. It's never, but it's good. Like, I like to be awkward, you said. I think that's a perfect way to say it.
And it's only, here's what I always tell people. They're like, oh my gosh, you handled that awkward situation beautifully. I'm like, it's only awkward if you make it awkward.
That's a great way to put it. And it's hard to kind of wrap your brain around it, but you're right. If you boil it down to sort of what you said earlier, like we're all humans, we all have a story, we all have an ailment, an issue, something we're struggling with. And if you can come from that place, whether you're talking to the janitor or the MC or the, person, the honoree, whatever it is, they're all the same and they're all on the same level because we're all human. And that brings it to, I think, a much more palatable.
And we're all making a contribution. Again, we're all on the same team.
Yeah,
so I couldn't do what this person's doing. They couldn't do what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why they're there and I'm here.
Yeah. Speaking of family, my dad was a truck driver and I'm very proud of that. He was such a hard worker, but he never left a phone call without saying, I love you. So I feel like,
awesome.
He wasn't like I mean, I definitely was a daddy's girl, but we lost him suddenly. He died of a heart attack, but it was like, I still felt this, we didn't leave anything unsaid.
Yes.
So
that's wonderful. And I think I love to see my parents now as they retire and such. They're softening a lot. They're still not awkward conversation people, but they're softening a lot. They'll just kind of say those kind things a lot more. My mom does a lot of check-in texts like, hey family. That was something I did last year. One of my goals was to kind of make my family just a little more connected because they don't communicate much at all in general. They're just not big communicators. And so we started a family text. And I was like, all right, we're going to text all the time so that I can, I've got several nieces and a nephew and it's just hard to upkeep. And then this way we can all upkeep because it's like, oh, well, I never heard about their Christmas parade or their Christmas program. And so it's just, how do you get that? But also that, like, my mom now just does a check-in where I hope everyone's doing good. Love you guys.
And everyone has a different love language too. And then once you understand that, you're like, oh wait, they do that's just their way of showing. They might not be like, and I love you all the time. Yeah,
exactly. But that check-in is my mom's kind of hug. Yeah. And hey, we haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well. It's like, that's her letting me know I'm on her mind. And I think it's so cool to have that little growth in them. I think as they age, it's just cool to see that. And it's kind of this fun connection to watch kind of develop a little bit. Yeah, it's neat. So, do you think having it all is real, or do you think we should redefine that and throw it out the window? Tell me what having it all means and
first of
reality.
all, there's no such thing as balance. No such thing as balance.
Work-life balance. We used to talk a lot about work-life balance.
It makes me angry
threw out the word balance because it's never a balance. If it works for you, it doesn't matter that it's not a balance. That's at a rate that works for you, but this is not balance.
And things are going to ebb and flow. Like some weeks,
as life does.
Yeah, I'm going to be like this amazing mom killing it in the PTA, but I'm a terrible wife that week, or
also
or business partner or something.
As this
like
piece
that.
of life goes up, this one might go down because the pendulum has to swing.
Yeah,
right?
but you have to give people grace. But also, when I became a mom, I joined a mom's group, which I was like, I don't think like I'm a mom's group person, but I loved it. It saved my sanity. A close friend.
Someone to vent to or bounce ideas off of or struggles off of.
Yeah, I loved it. And it was, I met a great group of women that I probably wouldn't have connected with like outside of the mom's group. And we still talk to this day.
Good.
And they're incredible and they've saved me. But I was just so grateful to join mom's group. And I learned there's seasons. And, you might hear this a lot in church too, like there's seasons of life. And like when I'm going through something really hard, I'm like, this is just a season. It's going to get better. Like sometimes I'm like, just get through these next 2 days.
Oh, what a great perspective.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to this. But I mean, I feel like if you could break it down to days or the beloved seasons that I love, it just makes it so much more attainable and less overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you feel like a less of a terrible person.
Because you can tell like, hey, it's a season. It's a reminder. We're still moving forward.
Yeah.
It's just maybe not the way or rate we want to, but we're still moving and we'll get through it. And all of those kind of reminders are in that one thought.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's hard. I think seasons, I love seasons. That's a great way to put it because you're right. It's always a roller coaster. It's always going to be. I don't know that there's ever a time that, it's just this kind of static.
And one
line.
of my favorite movies is Baby Boom.
Okay.
Have you seen that with Diana Keaton? The beloved Diana Keaton.
Oh,
Diane
Keaton. I love her so much.
Yeah. So she was like this busy advertising New York executive. And let's just say she inherited a baby. She never saw motherhood on her radar. And it was just like how her life changed.
Yeah.
So I think of that too, like the seasons. Like I saw that as a young girl, and I was so inspired. It was my favorite movie. And when she passed, like some of them, like amazing people were like, that movie saved my life. Baby Boom. Yeah, you'll love it.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I didn't watch movies until well into my 20s. I was way too hyper as a kid to sit for regular movies. So I there's a couple gaps in my life where I'm just like, people be like, you've never seen that movie. Like I've never seen a Star Wars movie. I've never seen any Star Trek movies. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. I've got some big gaps.
Okay.
And then I'm still kind of trying to catch up. And then friends or coworkers give me assignments. Like Ashley here was like, you've never seen Top Gun. Your homework this weekend is to go watch that darn movie. Like, are you kidding me? And so I try to, appease them and catch up at the same time.
I think
this is on the list now.
It's from the 80s, like
which I love. Yes.
Big shoulder pads and all the things.
I'm into it.
Yeah, but I just, it was funny. I found a little thing that I made when I was in 7th grade or something, like how that was my favorite movie and like places I wanted to travel. And a lot of things I said I was going to do, I did. I was like, oh my gosh, that was like such a steam booster when I found that. But here's the thing, even like when kids are picking their paths in high school, whether they're going to go, trade school, which we need more people in the trades or, college, you don't really know who you are, let alone how you're going to set your life. So
I've talked about that a lot. Like it's sort of unfair just watching my nieces sort of go through that. Obviously I went through it too, but just seeing them from this perspective, kind of try to decide at 20 and 18 and 16, 17 now, what they're going to do forever. It just seems wild. Like, how are we letting these how are we forcing these kids to decide the rest of their life this young without candidly a lot of input along the way?
Yeah.
We've taught them things, right? Yes, they have science skills and math skills, but how much do they know about themselves?
Yeah. Or empathy.
Yeah.
But maybe if they learn the word pivot too, like
pivot,
that,
yes.
that it's okay to do that.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
and things are not going, that was, terrible for me. Like things were not going to go as planned. So.
As I make all of these, kind of big transitions from Great News to just all about the girls and into my own world, it did feel almost like you didn't have a choice. This is what I set up to do, but pivot's a great word because that's what I'm doing. That was never off the table. Like me starting my own cleaning company was something that I've talked about for years, kind of jokingly. I'll get to a point one day where I'll want to do that. But I think the pivot was that it's now versus, I always kind of joke that it'd be my retirement, but I think my retirement from these big spotlights, that is being in media and being the executive director of any company and that stuff. That's my pivot, is kind of from that big spotlight to just less spotlight, really focusing on the all about the girls spotlight, but not all of the spotlights from every darn direction. And you're right. Pivot is exactly the perfect word to describe that.
Yeah. And all the skills that you've had from one thing are going to carry over.
Yes.
It's opening the next door for you.
Yes. I can run a business because I learned how to run a business. I can, talk with people and communicate much better because I came to this company with a graphic design degree and I could, and service industry background. So talking to people has never been that hard, but I think in the business sense, it was a little awkward for me at first. And now I've learned 13 years of it. So it works really well.
There you go. Now you're hosting a podcast.
And now we're hosting a podcast. Like, what are we even doing? So, you talk a lot about wanting to be the helper and connecting with those other people that want to give and help and make change. What impact do you hope that your work or your life or combo leaves behind?
Well, I definitely think raising my two kids are the greatest challenge and
achievement,
but also to give them confidence. I think, for them just to be good people, good, empathetic, good people in the community. That's what I love again about my work and my professional life is I'm always looking for people that care. And I mean, that's some days hard to find, but making an impact.
Yeah, it feels harder and harder every day, but you're right. Like keep finding them
and finding your people. And, I'm still meeting best friends in this next chapter I have. So,
yes, I love that. You're so right. And what is something that you're dreaming about or building that people might not see yet? Like, what is that kind of, I always refer to it as the iceberg, right? Like the iceberg grows under the water and then it's this big piece that you can't even see, but you see that tip. What is something that's maybe not above water yet?
I don't know. I definitely am in this season where I just want to get my kids off to good footing, and I'm seeing them have such a connection to the community and that community that I helped build as well, because I care deeply. But, also the special needs community I'm very passionate about, and just like being inclusive, that everyone gets a voice and a chance. So I do a lot of work with different nonprofits. I helped Logan celebrate their 75 years in our community. To even, Camp Millhouse, Special Olympics, and, just doesn't matter how you're born, but everyone's going to get a chance and be included. So
Logan and the Special Olympics here. Somebody else just introduced me to a woman that runs some of the Special Olympics stuff in the area. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Shaylin Matthews?
Maybe. I don't remember.
They just
mentioned her in a conversation and said we should spotlight her. So maybe it's her.
Yeah, it was probably me, but she's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe it was you.
But it's just, building the confidence and, for the families too, going through so much and letting, parents and caregivers know.
Yeah. And now we're seeing too, this fun, growth in unified sports where everyone gets to play, and it's really not about the competition. It's about playing and learning a sport. And that I have loved. We cover a lot of unified sports here.
Because guess what? We should all get to play.
Yeah. And I understand that there's,
sport.
These folks that are going to be very high tier, and you want to push them to be that high tier because they want to play in college or whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
But everyone should get to play. Yeah. And it shouldn't be just like some traumatic memory from high school gym. It should be like really playing a sport if you want to play.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why it's such a great movement. In Elkhart, the unified track team is just incredible. I mean, they've been state champions, and it's just been really fun to watch them and everything that they're doing. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of resilience, growth, challenges at life.
Every day,
right? There's always, every day there's always at least one.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is a failure, setback that you've that changed the way that you show up in your life, or changed the way that you show up to your job every day? What's that big hitter?
I think there's a few things. Again, life not going as planned. When I had my son,
the need to pivot.
When I had my son Max, I had an opportunity to teach in Chicago at a university as an adjunct professor, and I had it all planned. Like, oh, we're going to take the South Shore train, or I'm going to be there. I had a sitter lined up, and Max was in the NICU, and things happen. Life happened. Yeah, but it opened some other things. It opened my eyes to some other things that needed care and people that needed lifted and voices. But so that was like, okay, finding my footing. But also when I talked about losing my dad, the people that show up for you, and it's strangers too. The kindness of strangers always gets to me. So whenever you'll always hear these stories at funerals and stuff, but just like strangers always find a way. Like I always just tell people, keep your heart, when you're going through hell, keep your heart and your eyes open, because you're going to find really beautiful moments. And
and you got to be open to see it too. Yeah. Because it'll pass by. Yeah. And you won't notice, but that's a great way, I think, to kind of, be accepting of any input, because then, and I think that almost flips your perspective where, a lot of folks say, and I'm going to probably lose my track here because it's going to be a left turn, but like a lot of folks
We're doing a few left turns.
There's so many left turns. It's just through those processes, you have to be open for the input, because every day I could probably come out of every day saying it's good, and I could come out of every day saying it's bad. But it's how I perceive things, how I take them in, how I let them affect the day. And if I think we oftentimes try to pivot away from the negative, like, okay, don't let that negative thing ruin your day, which I love. I think that's great. We should keep doing that. Yeah. But how often do we actually make sure we're open on the other side to say, but did you even recognize that nice thing that someone did for someone else, for you, for your kiddos, whatever that is? We've also got to make sure that we're paying attention in that world. So yes, keep turning off your, survival brain that says that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, and it points it all out. But also make sure you're turning on that positive side, because as Great News always says, like 95% of humans are great. We focus a lot on the bad. Right. That's 5%. So let's flip it and focus on the good. Yeah.
And you'll see during your hard times, your low points, tragedy, people show up, and look at those people that show up. Yeah. Not the ones that you're disappointed that didn't do what you would have done.
Those are always going to be there. Yeah. But again, don't focus on them. Yeah. Focus on the ones that did and how amazing they are.
Yeah. And again, that mom's group. So I lost my dad. My son, Max, was a few months old. So a lot going on. Lost him suddenly. And, I had so much work happening in Chicago. My community of other PR who could be competitors, which most other industries would say we're competitors, but we were a community. They had my back whenever they're going through something. I have their back, and they took such great care of my clients.
That's amazing.
That mom's group, when I was in Cleveland dealing with my dad's funeral, they showed up with boxes of freezer meals and things like that. It was so kind and nice, and they hardly knew me, but they just know, like, you need to eat, you need energy to survive. And it was those things like you wouldn't think of, but it was like, and again, I never thought to be like such an advocate for a mom's group, but like whatever new thing you're at, like find a group, there's a Facebook group or something.
Yeah,
like
there's humans out there.
Your people are out there. You just got to find them. So
yeah. And like, I think it was a friend just, maybe it was even here today. Everybody, we're all a little weird, right? Like, go find your weird. Yeah. Like, they're out there. Yeah. We're all weird. Who cares? Go find them.
Yeah. I like, if I'm walking down the street, I'll automatically talk to a dog, or I feel such a connection with animals or horses or things like that.
And then that's just, you're an animal person, and there is a zillion animal people out there. And like, that's a connection you can make with others, and to help you kind of feel good and help them feel good too. Yeah. Building community, I think, is really important to me. As I've gotten older, it just becomes more important, I think, because we don't have time to waste on the people that aren't a good fit in my life, but also because I start to realize what they can give to your soul, and vice versa. Like, it
energizes you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like, I don't want to say,
and that's what you're going to give to other people.
That saying like, oh, won't feel like you work a day in your life. Well, sometimes you do, but it's stuff I care about, you know, like opening the Premier Arts Academy in Elkhart was such an amazing thing because one of my best friends, Ashley Molyneux, seeing her live her dream. Was just, and how passionate, because she came back home from Chicago to Elkhart to help run the education, Elkhart Education Foundation. Okay. So that's how we first connected, was at like a school dinner. And her and her sister, Haley Bowling, were so passionate about education. Like they had the room crying. Oh, so it was, amazing. And I was like, I have to meet these women. Yeah. Like they're badasses. And we haven't, and we haven't stopped talking since. So and that's how you do it. Yeah. You gotta meet her parents kind of adopted me. I call her mom my Michiana mama, because my mama was in Cleveland, Ohio, but Babette made this feel like home to me. So I was really grateful. That's incredible. Yeah. But it's your community and people that you want to do that. And, you know, and when I was a new mom, like there's some challenges that we faced, and, you know, I pivoted. I started my own agency here, and I made it about things that were going to impact my kid's life, or, you know, just, you know, because I couldn't do a regular 9-to-5, but actually I worked even harder. So, and I worked more efficiently. So. And how do you handle self-doubt through all of this? Is it the community? Is it their feedback? Is it your family? How do you, when those times get tough and you're just doubting what you're doing or who you are or whatever that is, how do you handle that? I just pick up the phone and call one of my mentors, and like as much, and I think about the kids that I mentor. I think about the kids that I mentor, and, you know, I have great people in my life that love me so much that give me tough love. They're not going to be my cheer. You know what I mean? So you know, they're going to tell it to you straight. Yeah. And I need that too. It's not all puppies and daisies, you know, like, but, you know, I have some really great people in my life. And if not, you know, even sometimes with a stranger, I'll be like, hey, what do you think of this? Or, you know, just a little chat with someone at the coffee shop. Like, oh my God, I love your shoes. I was going to tell you, I love your jacket. Because no one does it. No one does that anymore. I agree. And I think that I have friends and myself who have so many great friendships and connections that have started by random conversations, because you're not afraid to say that thing to that person. That's, you know, hopefully not mean. Don't be mean about it. But like, just, oh, I like your shoes, or hey, thanks, or I'm going to hold the door for you because I'm just being a nice human. And you just start talking, and that's really cool. Like, that's a great way to make new connections. And I just love random conversations with random humans, because same thing. I go to the library a lot to work when I'm in Michiana. And here's the thing. I love libraries. Oh my gosh. I love to work in I love it. You can get private little conference rooms that you can rent out for the day. And it's a beautiful whiteboard and have a Zoom. And the Pierre Moran Library in Elkhart is named after some amazing. I've only been there once. Okay, I love it. Yep. That's my hangout, that little library. Okay. I love it there in the Elkhart Public Library downtown. The Bristol Library too, in Bristol, Indiana, is darling. They have a cat from the Humane Society of Elkhart County named Paige Turner. But libraries, I love it, Paige Turner. But libraries are more than books. Absolutely. Yeah. And you could go to museums now with your library card. Yeah. There's just so much. So get your library shout outs card for the library. Yeah. If you don't have your own library card, get your own town's library card. And then I think there's like a black card or something that you can get that allows you to go into other libraries as well and check out items. I'm learning so much from this podcast. I'm still learning. I think there's another library card that allows you to kind of utilize all services of more libraries in the state or something like that. But you have to have your regular library card first. So go get your community library card first. Cause I agree. Like, and if you haven't been to a library, I would just tell everyone, like, go get out to a library. The programs are great. They have so many like teen clubs. Yeah. And just like hangout spaces and maker spaces. Like the library in LaPorte has same thing, like this maker space. It's another building across the street. And they have same thing, the little pods where you can take calls or have meetings. And then they've got like where you can do your own, like learn to embroider things and like all kinds of stuff. It's awesome. Yeah. So if you haven't checked out a library in a long time, love it. Go get one. What helps you reset when burnout sets in? How do you kind of shake that off and start anew? Well, if you've seen my social media pages, it's definitely being outside. As much as I love the city. Yeah, you're an outdoor girl. I'm a city girl, but I mean, just how much I love the outdoors and being with my family outside.
Like take a hike. Will you hike? Will you
I
bike
love
ride?
to hike. I have, we have mountain bikes, kayaks. You know, my city folk friends, they call my house Camp Krol. That's why I loved your camp. I have to take a picture of them.
Yeah,
we just love the outdoor. I really feel like it energizes me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if things are really terrible, like I've been known to scream in the woods. Okay. And now it's a whole movement. This is like people are making money off this. Like, come to my woods. Like,
and we'll just scream it out.
Yeah, we scream it out. And so I should probably get onto that business. But it's better than bottling it in. Like, just let it out. Yeah. And I just feel so much looser. But sometimes you just got to scream.
I love that. I'm going to tell my parents that they have like 80 acres in the middle of nowhere and the family on either side.
I just read this article in the Chicago Tribune. I forget what it's called. And then it's like forest bathing. That's what like the kids are calling it now. It's like everything has a term.
You guys just called playing outside.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I just have so much, I just love being outside, walking in parks. Yeah. Gosh, we have so many great parks around here too. Yep. And Michigan, like every weekend, like there's so many beaches in this area, Indiana, Southwest Michigan too. They're just beautiful. So and guess what? It's all free.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible. So that's how I recharge. Really up. I don't think 10 years ago I would have said, or I don't know, maybe 15 years ago I might not have said that, but
more city vibes.
Yeah, more city vibes. But now I'm just like, it energizes me. I invite people. Or like instead of meetings, I'll be like, can we walk somewhere?
Oh, I love this. Yeah. I want to do this. And I've always felt so weird about it, but I love it because I love to get my steps in. Everyone jokes with me like it's a little bit of an obsession. And so I'll try to take some steps just around the couple blocks in between meetings. But if I could do one and chat and walk.
I keep tennis shoes in my car. Yeah. Island Park. Like I have meetups. Wellfield Gardens. So beautiful.
Wellfield Gardens is amazing.
Yeah. We're so lucky to have it.
We really are. Yeah. We really are.
Yeah.
And what boundary, if you think this is the last one in this growth section, so I know these are all feel a little angsty, but I love them. What boundary has made the biggest difference in your life?
I'm like, what is a boundary now?
I was going to say, this is hard for me. I'm learning.
In my career chosen path, having a PR agency with a whole different range of clients, and now the media cycle is 24/7. My cell phone is never off.
Yeah.
So, I mean and I have to be really conscious about, my kids think I'm, not on my phone all the time, but like, hey, I'm
like
actually
they know
working.
that you're working and it's not just doom scrolling or something.
Yeah. Cause sometimes a cell phone, it is, a laptop's a leash, a cell phone is too, but I make myself accessible, but I'm also believing in my clients' missions and what they're doing. And I'm a trusted source to reporters as well. So that's how serious I take my job is, they have deadlines and, they're earning a living too. So I try to make myself accessible. So boundaries are hard, but I definitely have boundaries. I'm a big fan of Mel Robbins. Love that.
Okay.
Tell
me more. Everyone says I need this in my life. I haven't listened or read. Mel Robbins overall for me most often.
It's nothing new.
She's like, yes. And I feel like her voice she's too nice. I know that sounds so dumb.
Okay.
She's too nice. Like I need a little bit more of tough love, I think. But I think the premise with let them is something I should probably absorb.
Yeah. But I mean, because that's the boundary. Usually I was like too involved and stuff. And I'm like, it's their life. Like,
that's hard for me.
It's very hard. But now I'm just like, oh my gosh, last year was it the year of the snake?
Yeah.
So now we're shedding. We're heading into year of the horse.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought of that like shedding and, I say this all the time, and I have friends that say just let them.
I love it.
And we just laugh. But I mean, get her book, I don't think you have a lot of time to read. So maybe audio.
Yeah, maybe I'll do audio. That'll help me just kind of.
Yeah, and it's nothing like mind blowing, but it just reinforces all these things that no one's ever said out loud in a book. That's why she's all my
genius. Friends say is this nothing that you don't know? It's just a great reminder and a great layout of that information, so you can kind of remind yourself and like absorb it a little bit better.
Yeah, and also like we talk about, there's so many messages and we're getting bombarded, and there's too much information out there. You could also follow her Instagram. It's great. Short and sweet.
Okay.
Bullets.
That's good.
Yeah. Saying I'm dead. Like you'll get a push notification and you're like, oh, okay. I know someone that needs that.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you can't dive too deep, but boundaries are hard, and especially me, I'm such an empathetic person and I always want to connect and, but boundaries is a tough thing. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, a lot of my work and personal life overlap too. So
yeah. And these next questions might be harder for you too.
I'm sweating.
And maybe you touched on this. I have a feeling it's the question is going to have something to do with outside, but I don't know. What does a good day look for you as a person, but not surrounding just your job title?
Yeah, definitely.
When you get home, what's a good day?
I'm like on one of the public beaches at Lake Michigan, just watching people. Yeah, like people watching. I know this great beach that allows dogs. It's great. We camp up there. My kids love it. My husband's like, stop posting so many pictures because people will know, and then you know what I mean? It's gonna get too crowded. Yeah. But people are like, are you in the Carolinas? I'm like, no,
really?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
So
amazing. And when you guys camp, are you like camper, RV, cabin, tents? How do you camp?
We do it all of it.
Really?
All of it. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I feel like my husband, like, not to brag, but I feel like he created glamping. Anyone that has known him before,
like he was glamping before glamping.
Yeah, when I was in college, when we met our senior year, Hoosier National Forest in Bloomington. Yeah, like he had a ceiling fan in a tent, and we would canoe. He worked at Oliver Winery. So I feel like he was
he's the OG glamper.
The glamper, yeah. And he makes it so fun. And even when people are not considered outdoors people, they're like, oh my gosh, your husband really does a great job at that. So, yeah. So he was probably an influencer before an influencer really became a thing.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
He's an influencer off the grid. So
I love it. So, now, is he like doomsday style off grid?
He loves a good prepper. So
yeah.
But we also through, since I knew him from college, people would call him MacGyver. So
yeah, I'm putting together this mental image of your husband. It's funny. I've never met him, so this will be.
You'll
fun.
see him. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to meet him one day, and then I'll put it all together. It'll be really good.
Yeah, but definitely, I just love being outside, and so we're so lucky. We live somewhere with 4 seasons too, like fall, summer. I love the heat. The winter, not so, we've had some crazy ice and things like that.
Yeah,
but
it's not always perfect.
It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. The seasons, and so just really lucky to be living in the Midwest.
Yeah, I love the seasons. The cold is, I'm gonna give or take it. I could use less of it. How about that? It doesn't need to be 0. I could just use less of it. But overall, I think we're really lucky. And it's just,
spring is right around the corner. So someone just told me, you were like, it's coming. It's right.
I think it's supposed to be 50 this weekend. So another little warm spot. So that's
and then we could be sad again.
Speaking out. Yeah, exactly. And even the first warmth that we had a couple weeks back, because it was like, okay, I kept saying out loud, just reminder to everybody, this is not permanent. This is that joke that Indiana plays on us. That's just, it's going to be cold again. It's going to happen. Yeah. Just don't expect anything else.
Yeah.
And do you think, is it outdoors that also kind of helps you stay connected to you as you balance the career and family without any kind of, it's harder for you to have boundaries with what you do every day. Mm-hmm. So how do you stay connected to you?
Yeah, no, definitely outside again, because it's quiet.
That's the screaming by yourself sort of style. Yeah. It's maybe not camping with the fam. It's the screaming by yourself or the, what did you call it? Nature.
The forest bathing?
Yeah, forest bathing.
That's what the cool kids are calling it now, who are branding it, making money off this. But no, I love a quiet place. I love to turn my mind off. It sounds so weird, but again, in a 24-hour news cycle, with social media messages, with all the things coming at you, it's just really great to be outside and in fresh air. And
you'll go out. Do you hang out outside a lot, even in the winter?
Yeah.
You'll still go
I have
get
a
your
snowsuit.
Sneakers on and put your snowsuit on.
I have multiple snow boots. I have my hiking boots. So
I love this.
Yeah. I have actually a ski mask too. So with the wind.
You can really handle any weather. Yeah. And then you can keep outside.
Again, I'm married to MacGyver. So
so he's going to handle it, whatever.
So I have good gear, but
he's going to ensure you're ready.
Yeah. I love to wear a snowsuit. So.
That's awesome. I love it so much. And what's something that you've tried to intentionally make some space for in your life to kind of work on that, joy?
Yeah, I definitely think I've been I don't want to sound cliche, but marriage is work, right? But I'm so blessed to have a great partner in my husband, and he's such a great dad, and we've been able to do a lot of traveling and then it just keeps getting better. But I feel like we both put the effort in.
Okay.
And it's just hard.
It's really important.
Yeah, it's just hard. So.
Yeah. And it does take effort. I think that's the thing is like, we grow up with a lot of fairy tales that say, marry your best friend and you'll be happy forever. And that's, I think that can be true. But that's not without effort, right? Every relationship in your life is going to take effort.
And life changes.
Yeah.
We're constantly changes.
Like there's going to be really strong seasons and harder seasons in every relationship.
And we've been through some hard seasons with our kids and, but I feel like we're, we're each other's biggest supporter. And so that's, that's really hard to find. And it's been really sad. We've seen people I feel like we've gone through the whole marriage thing and now our friends are separating, and that's just really hard and sad to see. But people just need to find a joy in what makes them happy.
Yeah.
So
yep, I agree.
So that's something I'm really trying to be intentional about.
Space for him, time for him, and for you too.
I don't want to be a statistic. You know what I mean?
Not just being a mom, not just being parents, but for you two as a relationship.
But also set a good example for our, Mark and I were really lucky that our parents, were so in love and showed that. So, and I get, that was a true blessing. So, but just trying to be a little bit intentional, but also I've created a great community of friends that are that my kids consider family. Like one of my close girlfriends came from Chicago to be my son's special person. Took day off work, took the train in. Yeah. So, and just loved it. It was like that
makes me so happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's like the coolest, auntie.
Yeah.
So,
that's what I try to be.
And my kids have the greatest aunts too. So they're really lucky, but I mean, it's also family that we've chosen in communities. So
the chosen family means a lot. I think that's, and I have friends with kids. I'm probably closest with my nieces and nephew, but I have friends with kids that I hope can call me with anything.
You're probably the coolest Aunt Jenny.
I love being an aunt. I'm striving to be the coolest aunt. It's a goal on my box to check. I love I spoil them a little bit, but I try to make it almost like ongoing. So it's like, okay, well, for your 16th birthday, we do something, and it's for all of them. Right. And I've only got, so I've got 21, 17, 11.
Oh, you have
5.
Oh my gosh.
2, almost 3 or something like that. Yeah. I think that's all the ages. So it's funny because these ones are kind of setting the precedent for these ones, the younger ones. And so it's, I did something for the oldest at 16, 18, 21, graduation. We do something, right? It's a trip, or it's a day together, or I'm going to take you to your favorite concert, or whatever that is. It's some sort of thing. So yeah, I'm trying to be the coolest aunt possible. I love it. Because I think, we always joke, like me and my husband both never wanted kids. And so I think this was my other outlet for that is I never really wanted my own kids. I still love that decision. Yeah. And he does too, but this is kind of our outlet. And then I'm like, also someone's going to have to, put up with me when I'm old.
Well, and I'm so grateful for my family too, my community, but also like students I've mentored too. Like I kind of feel like I'm the proud parent, like showing up to their big moments. So.
Yes. Yeah. And they need that. Those kiddos.
So it's like, once you're in my life, you're always going to be in my life. So warning. So don't connect with me if you don't want to.
Unless you're all in.
Yeah. Literally, if you don't want a lifer, but.
We love lifers here, as you know.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, what's something that you've kind of maybe given yourself permission to let go of?
I think it's other people's opinions, which is kind of hard being in PR where you care about,
you
perception and
have to
optics.
Care about it.
But just being comfortable in my own skin.
Yes.
And knowing that my intentions are always pure.
Okay. I think that's a perfect note because I think you're right. It's, some people maybe don't believe it, right? Like some people are almost like, are you really nice? Are you really genuine? But you're right. I think if you can continue to ensure that that's obvious and that you have their best interest at heart,
at all times, too.
Yeah, at all times, even on the tough ones.
Ones.
So we talk a lot about kind of women mentors, women in your life that helped you. If you, as Stephanie, the adult, could talk to Stephanie at a younger age, what advice would you give younger Stephanie?
I'd probably say, hang on. And I used to, for years, think like, And I still was very lucky at some of the places I landed. But I've also had several mentors that knew me really well say, you worked your ass off. You were going to be in that room. Whether they slammed the door in your face, you were going to find a way.
Yeah.
Because that's just how driven I was. And, sometimes I'm like, where did this come from? I don't know. Like, it's just, I care deeply. And being the first one in my family to go to college was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my parents didn't know really how to fill out a FAFSA form.
Yeah.
Or, that's like,
same.
Yeah. So, I had this path and the pressure to make them proud. But I think I've just always been really driven in myself. So, and to find a way. So
find a way.
And I feel like that's part of my job motto too, because so many times, if I'm pitching a story or this or that, it's, you get no's, and rejection is good. Rejection's going to teach you most about anything. But I think it's like, okay, how do you find a workaround or a way, or, how do you get up from that? So
how do you pivot?
Yeah. So, I feel like when I talk to kids I'm mentoring, like, that's what I talk about a lot, is about rejection. And that's why too, I feel like theater and the arts are such a great thing, because that teaches you rejection and to get back up. So
yeah, you're not going to get the part you wanted, but you're in it.
And that's
then
life.
You can get the next one. And it is life. And it teaches, I think, kiddos, especially like so young, that's okay, that you're going to fall down and get back up again. And it's fine.
But at least you had fun. And you made a friend.
It is a great one. Yeah.
We don't do enough. We don't invest enough in it. So, I mean, anyone that knows me knows how passionate I am about the arts, and it's really, and my kids have really opened my eyes to that as well. So
good. And I think I'm lucky just because I get to work in Michiana, and I've gotten to learn more about the Lerner Theater and just theater in general, but also here in Valpo, we have Chicago Street and the Memorial Opera House, which both put on regular and great productions. And then we even have, it's the Wheeler High School has a theater group. It's a high school out here in Valpo, and I think it's technically Valpo. And I watched my niece, because they bring in, there's some high school students, but there's also college students, and they even bring in some guest directors and all of this stuff. So it's kind of, the whole community is a part of this.
Yeah.
And I saw SpongeBob there, the musical, and I cannot tell you how much I loved it. Like, my niece was in it. She was 20 when she was in it, maybe 19. Her boyfriend was 22 or something, 23 when he was in it. And it's just like all these people, magic. And I think for her, my niece, she's always been very confident, but it's wild. Like, she's very different human being. She has always been just in her own world. She likes wolves or science. She wants to dye her hair crazy colors or chop it all off or whatever it is. She kind of dresses like a 50s greaser. And so she's just got her own vibe, and she's always been confident about it. But I think that not everybody can be like that. And the stuff like the theater will help them from a young age, just get that kind of, and now she's seeing it where it's helping her even more be that person of, she didn't get that one part, but she got this one. And so it's helping her in her young adulthood too. I think you're right. It's huge.
We have so many resources around us. And I mean, we're so, especially in Elkhart, I mean, there's just so many,
Premier Arts and the Lerner Theater themselves.
We have an art museum in downtown. Our mayor is, Mayor Rod just loves the arts and culture, and he's really doubled down and the history in Elkhart too. It's really cool seeing young people so invested in history. So you see that a lot in downtown Elkhart. There's such history to even out here. Like it's all around us.
The train museum, kind of big celebration recently too, which is another anniversary, I think, that they're celebrating. And it's just,
the Lerner just had 100 years. And bringing the community, I just loved hearing all the stories of.
You're right. We're lucky. And I think we have we're in an area that could very easily be like a desert for theater, and it's not.
So just look around you. And if you can't
show up.
That's the other thing is show up. Like, I really try to show up for people in some way or form. And sometimes it's stressful. Like, okay, I got to get, because sometimes you're like, what if no one else shows up? And then that like stresses me out.
You want to be there because you want to make sure someone's there.
Yeah. And then you forget. And then when you forget when you need someone, and they're like, oh wait, they your community will come and lift you. So I think that's
that
really
kind of
energizing too.
Yes.
So what you're putting into relationships is really what you're going to get out of it. So you have to show up for people.
Yes. That's advice of the day. Show up for people.
I try to tell kids that all the time, like show up for people, show them different ways that you care. Because we all have our different love language, but it's just sometimes physically being there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you might not like this movie or you might like, but sometimes someone might just need someone there.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Perfectly said. And what do you hope that women take from this podcast today and your episode and you?
Well, that there's no balance because that especially for
amen.
There is, but there's seasons, and I think just to show up and support each other. It was really funny. I worked at my first job in Chicago, a huge PR agency, and one of my first bosses asked me, "Did you play sports as a girl?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "I could tell." And I didn't know she asked that to a lot of young female executives, but it's true because then she knew who was a team player and she could tell our attitudes sometimes towards each other because this was a cutthroat. It was an awesome place to live, but it was a big agency.
Yeah, so in Chicago.
We all wanted that next title. We all wanted, at the time that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, who cares about titles? That's
more what changes over time too.
That changes that's because you become comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You become comfortable in your own skin.
Yes, 100%.
And then you're like, I don't care about their title. If they're a good person, like that's who I want to be connected with. But that always stuck with me. And sometimes I ask them, like, I hear myself doing that. We all sound like our mother. Like, but I at first I was like so puzzled why she asked me that. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes working as a team and lifting each other too.
Yeah. So, I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Is this the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's game time. You're ready. All right. Here we go. All right. So you've got 5 seconds to answer each question or you get buzzed.
Okay. Am I supposed to hit this or?
No, I buzzed.
Oh, okay.
This is the you didn't make it in time buzzer.
No. Okay. I thought it was like the game. Like I was like super excited.
I was like, make a game.
I was kind of watching that.
She's like, I hate that buzzer. It's probably so annoying on the sound side, but what is your go-to hype song when you need to feel unstoppable?
Well, someone pointed out Man Eater by Nelly Furtado. They're like, that's the perfect song for you. And I was like, but she was like, she was like, you were in a room, a very tense situation with male executives. And she was like, you gave really great counsel and people respected and listened to you.
I love it.
Which was a little,
which in those rooms, it has to be Man Eater style.
Yeah. It was like, and I didn't think of it like that, but I was just, again, I cared so much and I wanted to be of assistance, but it was a very tense scene. I was like,
you're like, okay.
So I don't think the way Nelly Furtado did,
but maybe in your own little way.
Yeah. But I always say my kids, especially Max, has the Katy Perry song "Roar."
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, like you're gonna hear me roar. So I always get teary-eyed whenever they meet a milestone. So
that's a good one. Brave. What's that song? Brave. I want to see you be brave. I don't know who that's
by. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not a great singer, but
me neither. I won't do that.
But I love music. I love to be around music. There's always music around us.
I'm really a person that's kind of highly affected by music. Like if I need a pump up, I know what to play that will work perfectly. If I'm in a certain mood, it's like, oh, that's too sad. I can't listen to that song. I'm just going to cry in my car. So I am like, music kind of hits my chords very, very much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is a food that you'll never get tired of?
Maybe my mom's lasagna.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Morning person or night owl?
I'm a morning person.
If you had, and are you like super in bed super early?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. So,
if you had, like, because if you're up at like 5:30 or something, no clients are calling. It's like peaceful.
It's your peace. Yeah. I love that.
You get so much done. I have a girlfriend that's a publicist and she's up at 4.
Ashley here is up at 4 and she's same thing. She goes to bed at like 8 o'clock, she said, but she gets up when her husband or boyfriend of many years leaves for work. And she's like, well, I hear him. So I'm up anyway, I'll just get up. And then she gets to work and she's like, yeah, I've already vacuumed my whole house. I did 2 loads of laundry, and I'm like,
got the holiday shopping
done. You're a better human than me.
Yeah.
I'm like 5:30, get up. And then I'll usually, lift or spin or something active. I try to do in the morning. But.
Have you noticed too on cell phones now you could schedule your texts?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was always like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to talk. Like,
yes.
You're thinking because you have clarity because no one's calling you. No one, like for me, it's
that's so smart.
Yeah.
It's just you get that done in the day.
Yeah. So I'm like scheduling my texts. I'm like, okay.
I love that.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that feature.
Certain things here or there, but I don't do it regularly, which would probably help my life.
Yeah, because then by 9:30, there's half your day, and you're like, what? Like you're already in. And
you've got
something.
So much in play. Yeah,
so much in play. That
Oh, I love that. If you had a personal assistant for one task in your life, what would you delegate instantly?
I don't. Probably. Sometimes I feel like I'm scheduling like schedules. So maybe just scheduling.
Just
but
like
then,
taking care of your schedule.
Yeah. But then I don't think the person would like it because then sometimes I'm like, oh, if I'm here, then I'll pop in there or I could see this person. So everything's like a strategy, but scheduling is sometimes like really, it sounds kind of weird, but that or.
That's a great one. I think I would delegate that too. Last show you binge watched in one weekend.
In one weekend. Gosh, Netflix is great. I like a lot of foreign films.
Okay.
We went to Europe, and there's I forget what it's called. It's called The Parisian Agency, and it's like the House Hunters in Paris.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's like a family business, so they're entrepreneurs, and there's all sorts of drama.
Fun.
But it's a lot of French culture and stuff. So I think that that's
a great one.
That's a great one to binge on.
Okay,
Netflix.
I've never heard of it.
Or this is All Her Fault.
All Her Fault. I've seen this. Is it Netflix as well, right?
I think that's it's either Peacock or Prime.
Okay, I've seen it somewhere. I have all of those.
So pay close attention because there's some like definitely themes of women, like all her fault. Like so that's like it's a little tongue in cheek. I mean, it's very serious. I was like, God, why would I want to watch a show like that? But I'm so glad I did. Okay. And then just like how the writer like about working moms and stuff like it. Like took the shame off them, but kind of shame. It's good. It's good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
What's a hobby that you'd love to be amazing at, but refuse to practice?
I would love to sew, but I just don't have the patience.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm lucky I have people in my life that love to sew.
Okay,
but
so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to learn.
I don't have to learn, but I mean, we're all good at something. But I mean, and I was a brownie too. And like, I never got that patch because I was terrible. I still had I'd like prick my hands. Because again, I'm clumsy. So,
the needle and the clumsy.
And I'm really lucky my mom likes to sew, so she always helps us.
Okay. My mom says she likes to sew. This is such a random tangent, but my mom one year, I was doing Dancing Like the Stars. So there's a local one in Chesterton, or it was LaPorte for the LaPorte County YMCA. We're doing a fundraiser, Dancing Like the Stars. I have to dance. They also give me the tango. I'm not a dancer. I'm clumsy. I'm not a dancer. And my partner was a high school student. So now I have to dance the tango with a high school student. I just feel like well-deserved story. Yeah. I felt just like a creepo. But nonetheless, I get this dress and I wanted some my colors I got to kind of choose were black and pink. And so obvious. Yeah. And so I asked my mom, can you add some pink chiffon to just the back of this dress? Just sew it in there right at the top. Because it had black chiffon. Yes. She's like, yes, I love it. No problem. I get it back. Sure as hell. She safety pinned it into the back of the dress and just like, I think hoped I wouldn't notice.
That's like something I would do. Like, oh, here. So
it was just this like giant piece of chiffon that was safety pinned with a safety pin inside of the dress. So it was almost like a stitch, but a big one. And I just laughed. I was like, my mom's not my sew person anymore. Is what came out of it. God love her. She's just, that's not her thing. Maybe.
Yeah. We all have our strengths. So.
Exactly. First job you ever had?
I think I was 15, working at a seasonal toy store.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like setting up the display.
Oh, that was probably fun.
Yeah. But then you're like, when kids would come in the store, you'd be like,
if you mess up my display, I will end you.
Yeah, it was a crabby
to the small kids.
teen.
If you could teleport anywhere right this second, where are you going?
I love Paris or Rome.
Great ones.
Yeah, great ones. So just again, history, culture, the art. So
I haven't got to do Paris yet. I did Rome. And you're right. I would
God, isn't Rome just so cool?
Yeah. Like Rome, probably
you could just roam everywhere in Rome.
Yeah, literally roam for days in Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like you're in such a cool city, and then there's history all around you and statues.
But you're downtown in this bustling city, and then right over there is like the hills, and you're just and then over here's this Colosseum. It's just like so much history right in the middle of this downtown that's like right in the middle of nowhere. It feels like you could just go, down the street and be in.
And Paris was really inspired how people picnic and use the parks so much. I just really love that. So when you go,
I would love to go.
Especially because again, I have to be outdoors and outside, and I just really loved how the Parisians used the parks.
Okay, I will.
So you'll think of me when you go.
Okay, I will. Yeah,
with your little beret.
Yeah, with my little beret. What's a quote or phrase that you use way too often?
Pivot. Probably something I use today, or we'll find a way. Don't worry, we'll find a way.
Yeah, find a way.
Which we do.
You said both. Yeah, exactly. And what is your I don't care if it's basic, I love it anyway item or trend?
Like, can you give me an example?
So mine would probably be I actually just gave this example. Skinny jeans. Like all these youngins are telling me they have to be wide leg.
I know, but they look good with boots. Like
yes, they look good with boots.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to wear all these cute boots I have without? So I'm like, I don't care if it's basic. I'm wearing my skinny jeans.
Yeah, I love that. But I don't even think when you're with the right footwear, like people are even going to notice.
Yeah, I feel like if you're wearing it with boots, then people aren't going to be judgy, right? I don't know. I feel like the kids are wearing all the boots under the jeans, which I'm like, but they're cute boots.
Yeah.
Why are we doing
this? We need to show them off.
Exactly.
So,
dream dinner guest, living or dead? Who is it?
Well, I've just been watching the JFK Jr.
Series.
Interesting. So maybe that, or again, my dad, just to catch him up on. Yeah. But it's so weird. Like I still feel so connected to my dad, or Jane Van Bergen as well. So.
Okay. Yes.
My mentor,
that would be so
I would just,
cool.
So many times I'm always like, what would Jane do? And then like, I hear her laughing. I feel her laughter.
Oh, I love that.
I think that's something else. Like I've been noticing about myself. Like I just love to laugh. I don't know if it's stress sometimes, but I just got to let it out. But
good.
And I just love, there's certain people, I just love laughing with them too. So
yes.
Yeah.
Like laughing till you cry, like those days where you're like, God, I laugh so much, my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
Like what a great day.
Yeah.
Right? Like laughter is such
it has to be healthy.
Like, absolutely. Yeah. Like they say it's the best medicine.
Maybe we're not losing kidding. Some calories or something.
But if nothing else. Yeah. Gets our heart rate.
But I feel like lately I've been laughing so hard, I'll like snort a little bit. But I mean, it just brings me such joy, and then just like I just feel like sometimes we're just going crazy, and you just have to laugh.
Yes, because that's all we can do.
Yeah,
it's all we take ourselves too seriously. It's not fun.
Yeah,
that's my biggest goal probably in the next year. Is not that I felt like I've ever taken myself too seriously, but I probably took things too seriously, and now I'm just trying to tone all that down. Just me,
just have
myself,
fun.
Same thing. I don't care about my job title anymore. I don't really care about any of that stuff. So let's have more fun.
Yeah.
I love that. Call, text, or voice note.
My voice text is terrible.
It's
terrible.
Like it doesn't ever work.
It's just not disciplined. I don't even know. Like you could tell if I'm sending you a voice text.
Okay.
And then 5 seconds later, you'll see the bubbles, and then like
you're like I'm correcting what I'm saying.
So it's like I should have just texted in this. I should have just texted in the first place. But also voice. Sometimes you just need to get stuff done like this. Like usually I'm on a deadline.
Voice memo, maybe that's better.
But sometimes I just need to connect with you, and we just need to hash this out. And I have a reporter on a deadline or a client on a deadline, so people just don't talk anymore.
I know.
Yeah. And then
there needs to be much more talking.
Emails get so misconstrued. Tone of emails. I'm like, stop it. Like no one.
Gosh. And there's no way to turn it, or I haven't found the way to turn it off. Like I think we find here, like everyone takes Chris Mullman's emails as death. They're like, oh my God, I've got an email from Chris and he's mad. And you're like, why do you think he's mad? Like they'll come to me and say like, why is he mad? I'm like, I don't know why you think he's mad.
Yeah.
Well, because he put a period here. And you're like, well, that's the end of a sentence,
right?
I like he's not mad. I swear he's not mad.
Got a weird tone email from someone. It didn't feel good. Like the vibes were, and I was like, and I knew I'd probably be worried about it. and it would take some energy. So I just picked up the phone. I go, hey,
amen.
And,
are you good?
Yeah. And she was like, wait, of course, Yeah. Yeah. And she's like,
it's probably 10 other things.
Yeah.
She's moving too fast. She read the wrong text, or she read it the wrong way, she's just rushing, or whatever it is.
Guess what? It's also okay to be direct.
Yes. Also that. We have clients that we always kind of joke about, like, oh, that person's just very direct. So when you get the email, they're not mean. Yeah. Like if you go picture, and this is what we tell people for Chris's emails, picture Chris standing in front of you and saying that to you right now.
I kind of feel like he's going to pop out somewhere.
Yeah. He's skiing right now.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
So he should, I think we're safe from, he just like, his head pops out behind the thing. He's been sitting back there the whole time, just on his laptop. I think, he, same thing. If you tell him, like, just have him, picture him saying that to you. They're like, oh, I guess you're right. He's not probably mad. Yeah. It's just harder. And we're in our heads too much, I think. And I think sometimes we communicate in our heads a little bit too. Mm-hmm. And both of those, we're in our heads going, oh my gosh, are they mad at me? Let me think of the 7 reasons they could be. Yeah. And they aren't in that space at all.
It's not even on the radar.
Mm-hmm. No, they're just having a busy day and someone made them mad, and now they know they want to get back to you, but they're sharp and they didn't mean it at all. They didn't even notice. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah. What app do you open more than you'd like to admit?
App. I mean, I love all my apps, but I guess I love Instagram because I love the photos, the photography, whatever. It's less negative comments, I feel like, but again, like
just opening it 100 times a day for nothing.
But also, Facebook, I just have to be there or take pulse on things.
Like you probably have such a purpose in all of your apps in what you do every day.
Yeah. So
as long as you're not doom scrolling on your own. Then
but if it's a crisis or if it's something like I don't know too, like I just want to take a pulse. Like,
just, hey, what's going on online?
And you could tell when something's a bot or like someone with a real issue or something, but, because again, people we just need to connect better. So.
Oh my gosh. And communicate more. Yeah. This is the last one.
Communicate more from the communicator.
Oh my gosh. Right. What a surprising statement, right?
Totally.
What's one word you hope people use to describe you 20 years from now?
Maybe just like my energy. I think that because recently someone said to me, it was actually a media person, and she said, I just love the light and energy you carry when you come into a room. Oh. And I don't even know what's going on. I was just, again, reading emails off my phone. And I was like it was.
I will second that, because I think the first time, we had talked on the phone, and emailed back and forth before I met you in person. And I was going into, an Elkhart Chamber breakfast. Okay. It was, I think, a travel breakfast or something like that. I don't even remember. But it was at Matterhorn.
Okay. Maybe NDOT, like the
maybe it was an NDOT. Yeah, that's what
transportation.
It was. The transportation one. Yes, thank you.
Important one.
And I walk in, and I know I'm not going to know anyone because I'm new to this area. Yeah. I don't know a ton of people in general, more or less the people at this breakfast. And you were like, Jenny! And I was just like, oh, thank Jesus. But also, you came to me just like, hi, how are you? Great to meet you in person. Oh my gosh, let me connect you. Let me introduce you. And then
I don't even know I'm doing that, but it just comes natural because I want people to feel as my guests and
so
feel
natural
comfortable
for you. And you could tell that. But so helpful for someone like me, new to the area. And then, of course, because you do know everyone, like 3 other people came up to you and talked to you while we were chatting, and you introduced me to every one of them. Oh, okay. And it was just so cool. I'm like, I love her. Like, what a nice person. Like, you don't know me from your neighbor. You don't owe me a darn thing, but you're so kind and so introductory and helpful. And you just carry a bright light, like you're happy. And it was just like, another happy person. I love this so much. Like no scare. And I think that was, I second that. That's great.
Oh yeah. It was just like a random after, it was like the very bottom of her email.
Really?
Yeah. And then now I learned she was going through a lot that week. And I was like, that she took the time to, because I don't think we knew that enough. So she really inspired me. So I'm trying to pay that forward.
And I think it is what you said earlier is like show up for people and be that person. And that's you doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
definitely.
awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And did you, anything that
this
we
was
didn't
good.
talk about that you
This
want to
was a
mention?
good therapy session.
Yeah,
So-
right. We got it all out there. I learned
We
so
let
much
it out.
about you.
Yeah. We could do a scream, but we'll save that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
We don't want to upset them.
Yeah, we've got a couple neighbors and an
Yeah.
office full of people that
Yeah.
might freak out if
Yeah, no, I would just say, be authentic and show up for people and just be kind. I mean, there's just enough going on, and and PR has definitely been a way to bridge that gap for me. And in journalism, I care so deeply about, especially nowadays. And, and just, making an impact. So
good. Well said. And how do people connect with you online?
Don't connect with me online. Find me in person. Just kidding. But my website is skprmedia.com. Just a standard landing page. I do media trainings. If you have a big presentation coming up, writing press releases, events, hop in, hop out. If you're in a bad spot, do crisis communications. I actually love doing that. I love it's weird. So many of my fellow.
Yeah, it would give me an ulcer.
Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh.
I'm like loving being in the good news.
But I find it as a service of helping people.
Yeah.
It's another
they're
love
in
language.
Such a need of help in those moments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes people just, they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
And two, like what I've learned is we just need to listen to each other more. And I definitely felt like as I matured too, because I remember I'd be like, and now it's like, wow, just listening, you really understand people. And so it's funny seeing the younger, that's what I always tell students I'm mentoring too, like, listen, like really, don't think about your response. Don't try to repress. Yeah.
Because that's like hearing to respond and not really listening.
Yeah.
That's been hard for me, but something I've tried to do in my
That's why I was like stressed out about this. I was like, oh my gosh, because I really I want to listen and pay attention. But I was so afraid of the buzzer.
No, you did great.
Yeah.
You did great. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. You are a gem in our community. I appreciate you so much. For all of you guys listening, please like, subscribe, tell the podcast world that you love us. Connect with Stephanie, of course, online. And don't forget that we have launched All About the Girls event tickets. So go get those ASAP too. Talk to you soon.
See you there.